Well, following his team's Game 4 loss to the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals last night, longtime NBA star LeBron James hinting that this season with the Lakers may have been the swan song of his storied career. The 38-year-old telling reporters in the post-game press conference, quote, "Going forward with the game of basketball, I've got a lot to think about." So here with us now to discuss this possible seismic shift in the world of professional basketball, national sports analyst Eric Nichole. Eric, thank you so much for your time. So LeBron being a bit cryptic last night, what are the chances he retires? Because we know his son Bronny will be eligible for the draft, and we also know it was his goal to play with his son.
That's very true. But keep in mind, Bronny just signed to go to USC next year, and they're building a pretty awesome team at USC. He's got Dennis Rodman's son, and another blue chip recruit just signed with USC. So there's a run. So that's a whole nother year. That puts LeBron at 39, and then Bronny gets drafted, and we hope Bronny would end up with the Lakers because that's where his father's at. And that would make LeBron 40 years old. And remember, he's had injuries the past few seasons. And we're talking about one of the greatest basketball players ever, right? King James is always right there with the MJ and Kobe talk. He's had a great run. You can't beat a guy who's won 4 championships, been to 10 finals, has countless MVPs. He's an amazing player. And money isn't anything, LeBron has to worry about. He has a lifetime agreement with Nike alone. So, he was cryptic about it. I think he's on the fence, and he has great contacts in his Rolodex. He's been on the phone with Tom Brady back and forth the last few weeks, having the same discussions as Tom was calling him earlier this year, talking about retiring.
All right. So, Eric, you talked about his age here. Let's talk about what just happened, because, they lost to the Nuggets. They didn't just lose. They were swept. But, James was incredible. And you mentioned his age. He's 38. How impressive is it, and how rare is it to perform at that level at his age?
To be clear, to be in the NBA, you have to be quite impressive, right? It's like the top 1% of basketball players in the world get to play in the NBA. To be at the level that LeBron is at is amazing. To be 38 and do the things he does, my knees hurt right now talking and thinking about what LeBron's doing, because he's day in, day out running up into the court. You got to think about it. If you are watching and you're over the age of 35, think LeBron does that 80-plus games a season. That's nuts to stay in that shape. And keep in mind, he's a dad. And, we got Bronny going to USC, and his son Bryce is still in high school, and he's also a blue chip basketball player, highly recruited. I think he's really, between you, me, and the people I've spoken to, I think LeBron's going to retire. He wants to enjoy his time as a dad and watch his son play in college. And Bryce, who's coming up, he wants to spend more time doing that because his passion is watching his kids play basketball.
Yeah, fatherhood is certainly so important to him. Eric, he won a title in his first season with the Lakers, but the team hasn't really had a lot of success since that first title win. Do you see his stint with the Lakers as a success if it were to end now with the season?
Absolutely. But you can't look at LeBron's success as just being as a Laker. Right. He's had some amazing teammates, winning with the Cavaliers. I mean, I'm going to age myself here. I watched LeBron play his first ever professional basketball game versus the Sacramento Kings way back in the day. And now here we are talking about him retiring and what he's won in between, winning with the Cavaliers, right? Cleveland is the town that everybody just seems to pick on. He brought them a championship ring, brought the Heat too, and the Lakers, brought back that Laker dynasty, that good feel that Kobe and Shaq had left behind. I think what he's done for the city of LA, what he's done for the game of basketball, he's already left that impression before he even stepped on the court the last 2 years as a Laker. But to take the Lakers, who were not looking good at the beginning of the season, to go all the way to the Western Conference Finals against a Denver team that people have been sleeping on for years, and they almost did it. I mean, yes, they got swept, but to get all the way there, I mean, there's teams that have done that. I mean, the Portland Trailblazers just 3 years ago went up against that Warriors team. Yeah. So again, you're talking about LeBron James, his footprint and what he's done to the NBA. He's up there with Kobe and MJ. I don't think you can beat.
Eric, last question for you. This is yes or no, and I'm telling a sports analyst, oh, yes or no. So is LeBron James the greatest NBA player ever?
I'm going to get hated on this, but no, Michael Jordan.
All right, there it is. Eric Nichole, we certainly appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.